So we were at when Alan Dawson and everybody would get together. I think that's where we stopped. You were talking about who would get rounded up.
Jackie Byers used to come out this way to perform, and he would grab these people and they go different places. And my older brothers, cousins, they were like 4 to 6 years older than me. They used to get on the bikes and follow them around and stuff, in different places.
On a bike?
Yeah, we didn't have no cars.
Okay.
So they drive on, they get on their bikes. Well, those who had cars, the guys who were older.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about like my brothers, like maybe 14, 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
So these guys here, they're like 15, 17 years older, from Billy Thompson and Sonny Thompson. So these guys, they've been playing for a long time, playing with different bands, different people, famous people that we know of to this day. And so they got the opportunity to venture out. And I guess they learned from their parents how to play, And so then they turn around and taught their kids, who are the kids that, that's why Terry Lydia Carrington's the way she is to her parents. So they're going by the Ruth Brown and all them is my mother's generation of people. Louis Armstrong, Sammy Davis Jr., Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Duke Ellington, Tom Basie. What's that?
Mahalia Jackson.
That's all that generation. My mother was, I remember was born in the 20s. Same thing with all those people. They're born in that era. Then you got people before that, like Robert Johnson, Led Belly, people like that, before that. So that generation was the generation before me.
Right.
So when you think about it, that's not that long ago, even though I wasn't born and stuff, but it's something to admire and be proud of. Because now I'm the third generation from my grandparents, and all the stuff that my grandparents and my parents knew how to do, exposed to. These kids nowadays, they're not exposed to what their parents do. They don't have time for them. They're tired because they're working or they're into drugs and stuff like that. So they're not teaching their kids stuff. It's like, if you remember, like when you're, okay, you got a girl and a boy, right? You had to teach them something. So anything that you knew how to do, you're taking care of your kids at the time, you show them how to do it. So when they get to a certain age, there's about 3 or 4 different things they know how to do. They learn from you, and that's important. So that gives them self-esteem, self-respect, and realize that they can go out and find what they want to do, but it won't be easy. And that's where you teach them about going around different obstacles, so they don't quit on themselves. My parents used to, talk about that. So I don't know, what's going on now. The way they act, the way they dress. I'm talking about the average kids that you see between 30s in high school, junior high school. They got foul mouth. I mean, You know, you wouldn't be walking around swinging things, motherfucker, this and adults hear you. You might be with your own little crowd, and you might take off and say that, you know. Someone might, you know, one of the girls might say, well, watch your language, you know. And you get to the point where you learn to understand. You don't say that in front of your mother, do you? You don't say that in front of your sister, do you? Why are you going to say that in front of me? You know, you give them something to do, but they're honest, you know.
But for our young kids nowadays, don't you think there were some generations missing that weren't there to teach them?
Yeah.
So it's not that the parents just haven't been around. They may not be capable of doing it. One, they may not be here. They could be locked up.
Well, see, that's what I mean.
Right? I mean, it could be, but also, as we know, some people have been locked up for the wrong reasons, and they're actually innocent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Well, I know a lot of people in that situation, yeah.
And nobody would believe them, right?
Right.
And they had to serve their time, knowing they were innocent. Their family, their children didn't have anybody there to support them.
So what the system does, it ignores you. You know, let's say you and I were married, right? And something happened, they accused me of doing something, right? And at the time I was at home, you and I were watching TV, all the whole 9 yards, cooking dinner and all that stuff. They're gonna arrest me, and they come to the house and arrest me. Because that's what they got the name and said who did it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as they're concerned that you're guilty, you gotta prove yourself innocent.
Mm-hmm.
But they try to say you're innocent until proven guilty. But they're lying to you know?
Right.
You know, so like when you come in there, you know, with your lawyer or whatever and say, look, he was home all day with me. When he came home after work, 3 o'clock. We started making dinner, we started talking. Football game came on, we were watching football. Whenever they go over, watching Andy Griffin rerun, all the way over, all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they won't believe it. You know? Say what color your skin. But see, this government, what they try to do is try to say they just don't discriminate against one group of people. They discriminate against everybody. And that's true. But see what they do. The nationality of the people who come from Europe take turns taking advantage of African American people, Native American people. And in the meantime, all the other people who come in who are different color, who are non-European, non-Christian, they're taught negative things about us, even to this day. So if you get the opportunity to talk to people, it's just like if you went to Puerto Rico, to Bahamas, you talk to people and they tell you how the history of it going on, versus what you learned in the school. It's entirely different. And plus you see what they're talking about. You see, they're showing all these places, how they did this and did that and all that other stuff, you know? It's the same thing here, but it still continues. Every time this government lets another group of people come into this country, it's to help them take advantage of us. And these people don't know that. They don't realize. That's what happened during the party. The Jews were monopolizing Europe. They're the ones who, so they dealt with the economics and everything else. Because the Europeans didn't have that until they came, around the 11th and 12th century. So all these people, all these Europeans weren't working, weren't making a living, but the Jews were. They're setting up shop. You know, they didn't have currency at the time until the Jews come in and get all that stuff. Charm all that stuff. You know, it's like that here.
So, when you say that, none of this is just video. But when you say that, when we have Trump talking about building a wall to keep people out. Are you slightly for that?
No, I'm not. You know, see. What they're pissed off is that the original people who lived down there in Mexico, South America, not the Europeans, the original people, they always migrated back and forth. It's like the Mi'kmaq, they come from Canada, they come down this way.
Yeah.
The Dakota, the Cheyenne, they come from Canada down into this way and migrate. But they go back